So everybody, I am so excited to be here with you tonight. We are talking about all of the natural things that you can do to reduce cortisol, to do all the things that you can do to be healthier, to live a better life, pain-free, inflammation-free. But I have a very, very special guest for us tonight, and I cannot wait to share her with you. So, she's been a friend of mine for over 20 years, and she is just absolutely gorgeous, sweet. She's been an educator for over 30 years, and she's here to share with you her journey of what has happened with her over the last 8 weeks, 9 weeks. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Tammy Causley, my friend, my mentor, and just somebody who I look up to so much. So Tammy, why don't you share with everybody what has happened to you and the information that we have tonight?
Okay, so my presentation, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So my presentation, I kind of prepared to give you information about cortisol, what it is, symptoms, all the stuff, what I went through, and changes that I've noticed. For me, I think when it really hit me, I knew I was getting the bloating around the belly. I chalked it up to menopause. I didn't know if I was in menopause, but I'm at that age. I'm 57, so I'm right at the age where I should be in menopause. So the belly, my face, every time I took pictures with my kids, I realized that my face looked fat. I hated it. I've always been an athlete. I've been thin my whole life. So that was one of the things that really bothered me. But when I took that picture, I looked at the picture. My girls had taken me to see Wicked, a play, and I took that picture. I wouldn't post it. And then 2 months later, I was like, is my face really that heavy? And when I took the picture, I was blown away, sent it to Toni, and that kind of sent me down this little rabbit hole. So let me get started in my presentation and we'll go from there. So according to the Mayo Clinic, our body is made to react to stress in ways that protect us from predators or other aggressors. Now, obviously, times have changed. We're not in caveman era anymore. So now those threats come from huge workloads, paying bills, taking care of a family, being a single mom, things like that. So when you face a perceived threat, your hypothalamus sets off an alarm in your body. So say that you're taking a walk, a huge dog jumps out and it starts barking at you. Through nerve and hormonal signals, this system prompts the adrenal glands to release a surge of hormones, usually adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline makes your heart start racing, your blood pressure goes up, and I'm going to get into cortisol in just a minute. Our body is an amazing thing. Our stress response is usually self-limiting. So that dog jumps up, you realize, oh, just scared me, I'm okay. Your blood pressure and your nerves start going back down. So, the stressors are always present. Some of you and me always feel under attack and your fight or flight reaction turns on. Unfortunately, especially since COVID, I think so many people have been in this situation and have not been able to get out. For me, I feel like almost my whole life has kind of been this way. I'm only going to start in my adult life. When I was 26, my oldest daughter was 10 months old. Her father committed suicide. My world obviously was turned upside down. So I was raising her on my own, learning to deal with that. I was also in a huge legal battle with his mother, which I'm not going to go into. When she was 4.5 years old, she was diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic. I was deathly afraid of needles. I would pass out when I saw a needle. It was one of those things I did not like. I quickly had to overcome my fear of needles. My girlfriend, who was the nurse at the hospital where my daughter was admitted, said, well, Tammy, either you can give shots or your daughter's going to die. So obviously, you know what I did. I got remarried, had my twins, and filed for divorce when my twins were just under 5 years old. I kept the big house, took care of all their needs, and I was the one that took them to sports and all their dance things. I also had a network marketing business on the side, always did, because I was an educator. For 20 years, I was a special education teacher in the 7th grade. Need I say any more with that one? A lot of my kids were emotionally impaired. I used to call them my EIEIOs. I can say that because I am a special ed teacher. I love them, and it was out of love. After that, for 13 years, I was a school counselor in juvenile detention. I dealt with criminals, murderers, thieves, everything you can imagine. And we also had foster kids there. These kids were sex trafficked, abused. I heard horrific stories no one should hear. So that's part of it, right? So now you're seeing, you can only imagine where my cortisol is. Then my mom was diagnosed with a rare form of bone cancer. Literally 1 in a million people get it. There's only 300 cases in the US. Her doctor was at Northwestern in Chicago, and we were traveling back and forth from Michigan to Chicago to see her specialist there. And that's where she had her surgeries, so that was a lot. The last year that she was alive, on top of everything that was going on, my dad got cancer. So I was dealing with both of their doctor's appointments, going through treatments, working full time. I had a network marketing business. And along with that, I had started waitressing to help get my girls through college. Then we put my mom in hospice on Thanksgiving in 2022, Thanksgiving Day. And for 14 grueling days, I took care of her 24/7 with maybe 3 hours of sleep a day. Wouldn't have done it any other way. But she was my person, so that was horrible. It was the hardest thing I've ever been through in my life. So my body has been in fight or flight for a long time. And one of the examples, when I worked at the juvie, as we called it, we had panic buttons in every room. It was a red button. If anything was happening in the classrooms, the teachers would hit it and the buzzer would go off. It was in the main office, and my office was right next to it. As soon as that buzzer went off, I would jump up and the secretaries would say, buzzer in room 5 or whatever room it was. I would run down the hallway and figure out if it was a fight or whatever it was, I had to deal with it. Still, I've been retired for a full year now. I hear a buzzer when I'm in Costco, some loud buzzer goes off and I literally freeze. And I know, blood pressure's going up, all the things. It's almost like a PTSD. So I retired a year ago in June. I still waitress because I have to have something to do. My dad is cancer-free. The twins have graduated college, but all those years have done a number on my system. And I started getting symptoms along with menopause, and I did not enjoy it. So long-term, our stress response system always being on and having too much exposure to cortisol and other stress hormones can disrupt all of our body's processes and put us at risk for health problems. So let's have the cortisol chat. Let me teach you a little bit about cortisol. Cortisol is a steroid hormone that your adrenal glands, the endocrine glands that are on top of your kidneys produce and release. So cortisol affects several aspects of your body and mainly helps regulate your body's response to stress. Hormones are chemicals that coordinate different functions in your body by carrying messages through your blood to your organs, your skin, your muscles, everything. These signals tell your body what to do and when to do it. It's commonly called the stress hormone. However, it has many effects and functions throughout the body aside from regulating stress. I'm going to tell you about 3 different kinds of stress. Acute stress, that happens when you're in danger for a short period of time. Someone pulls out in front of you, you slam on your brakes, your heart races, but then you're able to bring yourself back down. Chronic stress is long-term. This happens when you experience ongoing situations that cause frustration or anxiety, like having a difficult or frustrating job or having a chronic illness that can cause chronic stress, the things I've been going through all these years, that kind of stuff. And the third one is traumatic stress. This happens when you experience a life-threatening event that induces fear or feelings of helplessness. This could be things like you're in a tornado, you experience war or sexual assault. That one's not as common, but people do go through that. Your body releases cortisol when you experience any of those types of stress, from acute all the way to traumatic. So what does cortisol do to our bodies? Cortisol is the essential hormone that can affect nearly every organ system in your body. So this is how cortisol affects your body. It works regulating your body's stress response. So during times of stress, your body can release cortisol after releasing its fight or flight hormones, such as adrenaline, as you continue to stay on high alert. In addition, cortisol triggers the release of glucose or sugar from your liver for fast energy during that time of stress. So that's why sometimes you get that sudden surge. It's regulating metabolism. Cortisol helps to control how your body uses fats, proteins, and carbohydrates for energy. It's suppressing inflammation. In short spurts, cortisol can boost your immunity by limiting inflammation. However, if you have consistently high levels of cortisol, your body can get used to having too much cortisol in the blood, which can lead to inflammation and a weakened immune system. It's regulating your blood pressure. The exact way in which cortisol regulates blood pressure in humans is really unclear. However, elevated levels of cortisol can cause high blood pressure, and lower than normal levels of cortisol can cause low blood pressure. Increasing and regulating blood sugar, it works with increasing and regulating blood sugar. So under normal circumstances, cortisol counterbalances the effect of insulin, which is a hormone that your pancreas makes to regulate your blood sugar. Cortisol raises blood sugar by raising stored glucose, while insulin lowers your blood sugar. Having chronically high cortisol levels can lead to persistent high blood sugars or hyperglycemia, and this can lead to type 2 diabetes. It also is helping control your sleep-wake cycle. So under regular circumstances, you have lower cortisol levels in the morning when you go to sleep, and peak levels in the morning right before you wake up. This suggests that cortisol plays a significant role in the initiation of wakefulness and plays a part in your body's circadian rhythm. I thought that was very interesting. So consistently having high or low cortisol can have negative impacts on your health. Your healthcare providers can test you either through urine or saliva, and they can let you know whether you're low or high. I never did that. I just looked at the symptoms, which I think a lot of us are kind of used to seeing, I guess. So what are the high cortisol symptoms? There's quite a long list. I'm sure I didn't get all of them, but I took a chunk. One of the big ones is weight gain, cortisol belly, they call it. So it's like saggy, your gut is hanging over. A round moon face, which is what I had. I didn't know about this one. Fatty deposits that are between your shoulder blades, wide purple stretch marks on your belly, and easy bruising. If you saw my legs, I always had bruises on them, and I never knew where they came from. Muscle tension and pain, high blood sugar, high blood pressure, thinning hair, which my hair was getting thin, osteoporosis, fatigue, irregular menstruation, if you're still having that, headaches, insomnia, anxiety or depression, mood swings and irritability, low sex drive, digestive problems, including constipation, bloating, or diarrhea. And I know I'm kind of going through this fast. I'm just going to touch low cortisol levels. Their symptoms are fatigue, unintentional weight loss, poor appetite, and low blood pressure. Just so you're aware. So some of you who are my age might remember the Facts of Life. And that little song was, you know, you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. Well, stressful events are facts of life. And you may not be able to change them, but there are steps that you can do to help you manage the impact that these events have on you. So how can you reduce cortisol levels? There are things you can do, and these are things you can do every single day. And this will help keep your cortisol levels at optimal ranges. So first thing, get quality sleep, 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I know it's really hard. For years, I have not been a sleeper, but I will tell you, since being on this happy juice, I am sleeping like a log. I don't even need the sleep anymore. I did when I first started, but I've been on it 3 months now and I don't use it at all. A healthy diet, whole food and grains, fruits, vegetables, all the good things. Exercise regularly, 30 minutes a day. I know that's really hard for some people, but I have started walking every single day. My goal is 10,000 steps a day or 70,000 a week, because some days I don't get in as much and other days I get in more. So as long as I hit 70,000 a week, I'm happy. And the exercise does help improve your sleep quality and reduces stress also. Learn to limit your stress and stressful thinking patterns. So being aware of your thinking patterns, your breathing, your heart rate, and other signs of tension can help you recognize stress when it begins, and you can help prevent it from getting worse. Another thing, journaling. Some people don't like writing, but even if you just go in it to take those quiet moments every day, write some things that you're grateful for. Organize and focus. That creates a lot of people tension. Some people are not organized. Some people can't stay focused. But if you organize and focus on your tasks for the day, take out the ones that don't need to get done. And what I do is I am a list maker. Make your list. I love checking them off. And I am one of those people. If I do something that wasn't on my list, I will put it on to check it off because it just makes me feel better. Some people don't like to do that. You do what works for you. Practice relaxation exercises like yoga, deep breathing, massage, or meditation. I mean, even getting a weekly massage, which isn't feasible for most of us, but even if you just lay there or sit there and just focus on your breathing and meditate a little, it's great for you. Having a sense of humor. Laughter promotes the release of endorphins and it suppresses cortisol. So maybe you read daily jokes, watch a funny show, hang out with a funny friend, laugh, laugh, laugh. Participating in hobbies and fun activities can also promote feelings of well-being. That will lower your cortisol levels. Read, listen to music, garden, whatever your hobby is, find it, and you know your place that makes you feel good. Maintaining healthy relationships. Relationships are a significant aspect of our lives. Having tense and unhealthy relationships with coworkers or family members, that can cause frequent stress and raise your cortisol levels. If things are really bad, as a counselor, I suggest you seek professional counseling. And even people that are in a good mental state, counseling is good for everybody. Stay away from unhealthy things and from unhealthy ways of managing your stress. Like a lot of people turn to alcohol, tobacco, drugs, excess food, things like that. Anything with lots of sugar, that's bad for you. We want to strive to be the best version of ourselves, and we need to focus on our mental wellness by building a solid mental wellness foundation. Science is showing us that a key contributor to mental wellness is determined by what's going on in our gut. I never knew that. This is where Amari focuses on the gut, brain, and the heart axis. Getting a healthy gut can make many of these symptoms and issues disappear or lessen. I'm going to highlight just some of the products that could help with cortisol, not making medical claims, but these are some of the Amari products that might help you. Obviously, it doesn't happen overnight. I I'm on my 3rd month and I'm really starting to see the effects of it now. I'll come back to what I was going to say. Amari does have a 90-day money back guarantee. If you give it 90 days, I'll pretty much guarantee that there will be some changes. But if not, then you return it and you get your money back. Simple as that. So our flagship product is Mentabiotics. This is the first of its kind in that it combines probiotics, prebiotics, and phytobiotics. It promotes a healthy stress release response and a positive mood. Mix that with our Edge and Energy or our Energy Plus, and you get our Happy Juice, which you hear all of us talking about. This has the nootropic or smart drug, or also called cognitive enhancers. These have a positive impact on our cognitive function, our memory, and motivation. It has inflammatory benefits, gives mental energy, and helps with fatigue. Mood Plus is the next product. This lowers stress hormones. There's a 70% reduction of stress-related symptoms. Menta Heart decreases oxidative stress and supports positivity, stress resilience. It helps with tension, sadness, and less fatigue. Focus promotes stress reduction. If you can focus and you're not all over the place, that stress is less. That kind of rhymes. The fundamental pack includes the Mentabiotics, the Menafocus, and the Menasync. When those are used together, they optimize the microbiome balance and all communications within all aspects of the gut-brain axis. The Omega, it's sustainably sourced, ultra pure, ultra potent. It's lavender infused fish oil. You don't get the fishy burps, with a 5-to-1 ratio of EPA to DHA, which is awesome. It helps regulate the natural inflammatory response and promotes cardiovascular health. The Triangle of Health, I just started this within the last month and I'm loving it. This has the Sunrise, the Nitro FX, and the Sunset. These 3 products help support healthy stress management and cognitive functions. They protect cells from oxidative damage, and they help fight the effects of oxidative stress. And the last one I'm going to mention is the Reboot Plus. Now, they say you can use this up to once a month. I did not use this when I started, but I wish I had, and I think I'm going to try it. This is the first and only 3-day scientific reboot designed to reset your gut-brain axis. It gives you a healthy, clean foundation for your microbiome so you get optimal results. It helps remove waste, the buildup of waste and toxins in your body. So I'm sure we all do have that. And I've heard that you're not on the toilet all the time, which might be TMI. I haven't tried it, but I've heard that you don't. So that's the next thing I'm going to try. So that's what I got, Toni. Is that okay?
That was fabulous.
That was a lot of talking.
You know what? But you broke it down because the teacher that you are, you were able to share, you were able to just really, give that functional information to people. Now, you guys, hold on 1 second. So she told you a lot about, cortisol, and this is the fact about anything that you're under stress for. And one of the really cool things, and let me see if I can find it, because I was going back and forth with everything that I was sharing, is that the one thing about stress, okay, is that it builds up in your body. And that's one of the things that you touched on, is that you never really get rid of it unless you flush it out of your system. You can never get rid of stress. You can never get rid of cortisol. You can never get rid of all of the things that are going on with you emotionally unless you flush it out. So that's one of the things. The other thing that I wanted to touch on is that regardless of, what your lifestyle is like, you still have to manage it every single day. So whether you realize it or not, and what most people don't realize is that if you've been injured, if you've been through a traumatic situation, even a car accident or what have you, if you have not released the emotion attached to it, it lives inside your body. So the one thing that you have to do is you have to let that go. And by one of the things that you can do is by doing the whole reboot, gut cleanse, all of that, and then getting on, the products that are going to help you release those stress hormones. The thing about it is, if you don't, you will always be in a state of fight or flight. And this is why a lot of people can't sleep through the night, and they wake up or something happens between the time of 2 and 3 a.m. and they're stressed. Your body has not appropriately shut down. So this is another thing that, our regimen can do. So Tammy, I want to thank you so much for sharing your expertise. You're amazing. I do want to open it up for questions. So if you have any questions, let's address that. And then I want to take 5 minutes and talk about something else. So, Jen. Yes. Okay, so Jen, I don't know if you want to come on and share what you shared in the chat. My heart goes out to you. There is no other situation that I know that what you expressed is in losing a child. So if you want to share with us your journey, I encourage you to unmute and come on if you can. But you're absolutely right. The body has to heal 100%.
Yeah, I can share just even like with
Yes.
Tammy, like
Yes.
I relate so highly with everything that she was saying, like when you go through that traumatic experience. And that's the thing, like drinking this and it's changing my life. Like I cannot stop talking about it because my circumstances are not different. I still grieve the loss of my child. I'm still a medical mom to my middle kiddo who we're getting ready to put on hospice right now. We're going to go through it again. And I have never felt this good in my entire life. And I knew my cortisol was high. I know not for a long time, but I have so many medical mom friends and other grieving mom friends who are reaching out to me privately and saying, I want more information on that, because we all know that our body does keep the score. And until you can release that from your body, it isn't going anywhere. And it's not like drinking this as a magic pill that is changing my circumstances. My circumstances are honestly getting worse, but I'm able to handle it and have joy in it that I didn't even know was possible. And I cannot shut up about these products to other people because of what it's doing. And if I can, well, number one, I will say the biggest number one for me too is God and prayer for me personally. But number two, the availability of these products and friends that I've met in other MLMs because of who I know, like God has orchestrated this in like ways you can't even make up on your own. And, but the cortisol, like my stress hormone, I can get up in the morning and face that day. And I am training for a half marathon, things I never thought I would be able to do, but it's saving my sanity. And that exercise and the running and the training and the discipline is giving me like a framework in the middle of taking all these supplements and adding to them even more, like the sunrise and sunset. I just got that. I can't wait to start it. I'm very excited about that. And the mental heart, like things that I don't have to do big pharma. And we've tried so many medications, and honestly, the side effects are worse than the medication itself. And I don't want that. And these supplements are giving me life. They're life giving. Like I know there's other wellness companies and people are like, what's the difference between pink drink? And I'm like, I don't know. But what I'm telling you is that this is so much better. And I've tried those things and it did not give me the results that Amari is giving me. It did not. So, Tammy, I just bless your heart. And from the bottom of my, and not like a Southern bless your heart, that I guess my husband tells me that I make a mistake with my North Carolina husband. But a true, like, just, I so resonated with you, Tammy. Thank you so much for sharing that. Cause I was like, yep, spot on. It is PTSD. I'll be in, the store and I hear something and I'm like, that initial, like, medical alarms, and I still have them at home when I go home, but like the ventilators and stuff, I hear those and my heart races, but I'm now able to get through things that I never could do before. I'm a version of myself I've never seen before, and it's changing lives. I want to help so many people. Like, I thank you, Tammy.
Thank you. Wow.
Thank you, Jen, so, so much. So you guys, this is the incredible part of this entire call, that we're able to help other people. Does anybody else have a testimonial or a question that they want to share? And then I'm going to take just 5 minutes to share something else with you. Anyone else? Be brave.
I have a question. So you mentioned like the sunrise and the sunset stuff. So like, what does that do? I didn't quite understand that.
So they're whole food supplements. So sunrise is meant to be taken in the morning. When you get up, it helps give you energy. It's a whole food supplement. And then sunset is to help you calm, get good sleep, and do all the things. Awesome. Thanks for that question. Anything else? Okay, you guys, before we close off, I just want to say, I've been in network marketing for almost 30 years. And the reason why we made the lateral move from the last company that we were in, that we helped build for the last 10 years, is because I love this industry. I love what it can do for people. And all we want to do is that we want to help you. We want to help you be the best version of you. We want to help the people that you know and love with these incredible products, with these incredible opportunities. And the fact is that, you know what? It's not about money freedom, financial freedom. It's about time freedom. And that's what we can provide. So here's the thing. I am not here to sell you anything, never have been, never will be. In all of the years that I have built organizations across the globe. But the best part is that we have something for you. We have something for everybody that's going to listen to this call. And whatever that means for you, we want to help you. So you know what? Reach out to the person that invited you to this call. You've heard all of the wonderful testimonials. You've heard all of the education. What is stopping you? Don't let somebody else's opinion stop you. Don't let society say you can't do it, because you can. And I'm here to prove it. You heard Tammy on this call tonight. She's one of them. There were many other people on this call. Same thing. Get on board. Let us help you. Let us help you build your dream life. That's all we want, with a great product and a great opportunity. So you guys, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Mwah. Love you. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.